If you already subscribed, welcome back, my darling. And if you have not yet subscribed, you're gonna want to subscribe. We got giveaways going on. We got all kinds of things going on. So the secret emoji for the Christmas giveaway is on the screen right now. And today's video is going to be a complete breakdown of the Nikita Dragun X Morphe palette. Oh my goodness, I created this look right here with this palette. I am obsessed, you guys. And this palette wears so well. The glitter that's in the palette wears so well. I kind of did like a teary-eyed look with the glitter. I'm absolutely obsessed. Also, you guys, I did just want to mention that I have a severe sinus infection, so I'm gonna sound like this through the entire video. I'm so sorry if that bothers you. I'm so sorry if that is going to annoy you, but I am going to sound like this the remainder of the video. So I did just want to let you guys know. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the Morphe X Nikita Dragun Artistry Palette. First thing we're gonna do off the rip is we are going to dive into the palette. We're gonna swatch the shades. We're gonna talk a little bit more about what type of shades are in the palette. We're gonna talk the unicarton and all of that. Starting on the outside, the unicarton, you have this beautiful matte black unicarton with Nikita, with the glossy kind of electric lighting, so pretty. You have the Morphe and Morphe X Nikita Dragun symbol up here. On the back, you do have what is Nikita's like Instagram profile picture, like anime version of Nikita, and a letter from Nikita. It says, "Once upon a time, there was a little trans girl with just a dream and a wig. Fast forward a couple of years later, and I have manifested the Morphe palette of my dreams. I was inspired by my fascination with the future, anime, and my travels to Tokyo, Japan, a city that's very special to me. Metamorphosis, a change of form, the process of transformation. Build your own beauty, create your own fantasy, and unleash the dragon. XO Nikita Dragun." So down here, it does let you know the ingredients of the eyeshadows. So the regular eyeshadows in the palette, this is the ingredients for those, and the pressed pigment ingredients. Also, it does let you know here that you do need to discard 12 months after opening, and then we open the unicarton. As you do open the unicarton, the palette does come in bubble wrap, as all Morphe palettes do. And then you slide out the palette, and here is the Nikita Dragun X Morphe eyeshadow palette. I think this is fun. All of the other, creators with Morphe, most of the time it's just like plain, like a solid color, white or black. I love what they did with this palette. You have, the dragon skin-esque. It just looks so cool. The back is, of course, plain black, and then you do have the discard 12 months after opening. And you open the palette. Here is what it looks like. It does have the protective covering. This palette is $30 US. Now, again, do keep in mind, if you do order the palette off of the Morphe website, then you can put in, I know all kinds of creators' names where you can save 10% off: James Charles, Laura Lee, Nikita. The list goes on and on. You can literally put in, I ordered mine off of Ulta, and I used Ulta points because I saved more with my Ulta points. So do be sure, if you do have Ulta points, that you do check the difference on how much you can save Ulta points versus, using a 10% off discount on Morphe. Also, if you've never ordered from Morphe, you do get 10% off with your first order if you put your email in. Now let's go ahead and swatch the shades and talk about the shades. Well, I love the first row on this palette. This is a 35 shade palette. And what I really love about the first row is it's literally a transition shade for pretty much any skin tone. And I love that. That's something really, really unique that I've never seen before. So let's go ahead and start swatching these shades and going through them. First, we have the shade Nicholas. This is just a beautiful shade, and honestly, if there's not a shade, you know, a skin tone light enough for this to be a transition shade, this is the perfect setting shade to just set the entire eyelid. This is just a shade that needs to be in every single palette, in my personal opinion. And it does have that Morphe, like, beautifully buttery feeling to it. I absolutely love it. Second up, we have Augmented, which is a beautiful cream toned shade. This is absolutely beautiful. Same formula. All of these on the first row are going to be that beautiful, buttery, soft formula. The third shade, Shapeshifter, is going to be like that perfect cut crease transition shade for like me and my skin tone. Look how freaking pigmented Prima Donna is. That is that beautiful, like, little bit more of a darker mustard shade, but oh my goodness, you guys, can you even? That's absolutely stunning. So in love with that shade. Next up is Seduction, and you can see the difference between Prima Donna and Seduction here. So Seduction is a little bit more of that. It almost has a little bit of red in it, in my personal opinion. It's a little bit more orangey toned, where this is a little bit more got like that green undertone. Absolutely love it. Moving on to Temptation. This is that beautiful, like, chocolatey brown. And I mean, look at that blend with my finger. Can you guys even imagine what that is going to look like when it's on like an eyeshadow brush? Like, get out of here. And then I would say probably one of the shades I'm most excited about is Nasty, which is just this beautiful matte black that, I mean, look at that. And that's with my finger, you guys. That's not even, these are not even with eyeshadow brushes. Like, this is with my actual finger. Moving on to the second row, we're gonna have 4 mattes and 3 shimmer shades. Okay, so here is the second row. And just like I swatched previously, we are going to go from the left to the right. Starting off with Fatal. It is this beautiful orangey tone. So pretty, so creamy. Beautiful. Artificial. This is that, like, every palette needs this shade. This is that beautiful, like, orangey mustard brown shade that is so beautiful in the crease. Moving on to the third shade in the palette, which I love. It's called Pussycat, which I was hoping that there would be like a shade named Pussy Stunt or Cunty or something like that. So I'm super excited that she named one Pussycat. And the fourth matte.
Holy shit.
The fourth matte, look at this freaking shade, Nicole. Holy freaking Toledo. That's gorgeous. I mean, look where my finger just hit. Like, I mean, you could blend this to oblivion, honey. Look at that. I mean, that's probably the best red I've ever seen. That, again, is the shade Nicole in the palette. Next, we have the first shimmer shade in the palette. This is the shade Escort. Super beautiful. God, I can't get over that shade Nicole. Next, we have the shade 703, which is, this one here is a little bit more gold tone. This one is 703 is a little bit more copper, where Escort is a little bit, it's more on that golden tone. Poppy Chulo, which is like a beautiful brown shade with a gold reflect. So this is the second row, and I am like gagged over the shade Nicole, sorry, Nicole. That is stunning, honey. So I did just want to point out, in between swatches, of course, I have been wiping my hand off. This is where Anna was. So I do just want to point out that there is like the slightest, like nothing, like it left no stain. So I did just want to let you know that, because Anna is super duper pigmented and it like, that's cray. So the third row is the row that I think I've heard talked about the most, because it has that shade Metamorphosis. just like I have with all the swatches. I'll go ahead and show you what Metamorphosis looks like right now on the screen. Super beautiful. It has that blue shimmer with a little bit of purple like drizzled into it. I'm getting all the vibes. So in the third row, it looks like we are getting 2 shimmer shades, 3 pressed pigments, plus we have the Metamorphosis, which of course is a pressed pigment, and we have 1 matte, which is Baby Boy, which is the one that a lot of people are talking about. It's that beautiful, like, bright blue. I'm just so excited. The 3 shades that I'm super excited to create a look with is Baby Boy, Sakura, and She Go. I'm super excited. So let's go ahead and get started with the swatches for the third row, starting out with the shade Nick. Look how beautiful that is. Cyborg, and look at that. You can definitely see a huge difference in Nick and Cyborg. Cyborg, it definitely has more of like that wet look to it, where Nick is a little bit more of that subtle silver. So stunning. Now we've got the only matte on the third row, which is Baby Boy, which is a shade that everyone has been talking about, and man, oh man, look at that. I mean, honey, so stunning. Now on to Metamorphosis, which is the most talked about shade, so we're gonna go ahead and mess it up. Of course, as soon as you do swatch it, it is going to mix those colors together, so do just keep that in mind. And we'll go ahead and put Metamorphosis right here. So as it says on the back of the box, Metamorphosis is the transition of, you know, 1. Look how beautiful that is. I just think that is super duper stunning. I love the sheen to it. It also has a little bit of glitter in it as well, like sparkle. Absolutely beautiful. And then we have Katana. Sorry if I'm butchering that. This is a pressed pigment, and I'm super excited to see what this one looks like because, ooh, oh honey, I am into that. Look at that. Wow, beautiful. Then we have Azula. Here is the shade Azula, like a beautiful matte navy blue. So stunning. It does have like a little bit of like the slightest sheen, I think. It's a very beautiful color. I cannot get over this one here. That is absolutely stunning. Game Over. And there is Game Over. Smoky black. It's absolutely beautiful. So stunning. Now moving on to the fourth row. In the fourth row, we have 5 mattes, 1 pressed pigment, and also we have a shimmer shade. Starting out, we have a matte shade called MTF. And this is a really beautiful, like, just basic transition. This could also be something really easy to like pop in the crease. It looks a lot like a bronzer. Pop it in the crease, head out the door, something easy. Then we have the pressed pigment named Estrogen. This one is absolutely beautiful. It's like a peachy champagne. Beautiful, beautiful shade. The third shade is another matte, and it is the shade Sakura. It's a beautiful, like, pinky shade, light pink, so pretty. And the bright hot pink in the palette, which is the shade Nikita. So pretty. Then we have ABG, which is a beautiful purple shade. That one was more of a lavender, and then Mama Dragon is a deeper purple. So pretty. And the final shade on the 4th row is a shimmer shade named Mystique. Absolutely beautiful. Has like a shift to it. So pretty. We are going to move on to the final row. Now, the final row, we have got, let's see here, 3 pressed pigments, 3 mattes, and 1 glitter pressed pigment. So I'm super excited for the glitter as well. And again, just like we have been doing, we're gonna go left to right. Pressed pigment, this is called Full Fantasy. Look at that, that is so pretty. Add just a little bit more to that. Wow. So stunning, so pretty. That's what I like about this palette, is it's different. Next up, we have a matte shade, and this is an Army Green, and perfectly named because it's named Army. So pretty. Next, we have the shade She Go, which is a shade that I have seen a lot of people talking about with this palette because the swatch is fire and it's just that beautiful lime green. Super excited to play with that. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the name of this shade right here. I'll have the name of it going across the screen now, but it is like this beautiful, look at that. How freaking stunning. And I'll also put BB Boy right here below it so you can see the difference. There is a big difference in Resinigan and BB Boy. So, gosh, look at those. So beautiful. Then we have the shade Peacock, which is this beautiful pressed pigment with like that sheen to it. So stunning. I'm not sure how to pronounce this one either, so I will have the name going across the screen. But here is that one. It's got like a beautiful like shift to it. So pretty. Has like a little bit of green in it, a little bit of black, so pretty. And the final shade, which is Matrix. It is this beautiful like pressed glitter shade. Look at that baby. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is a shade that we're actually gonna play with tonight. I'm just so excited to play with it, to see what it looks like. I'm super duper excited. And yeah, that is the shades in the Nikita Dragun X Morphe palette. All right, y'all, so if you guys are ready to see the look that you've seen at the beginning of this video, you guys already know what it's gonna end up looking like. But if you want to go ahead and get there, then keep on watching. This is the portion where we're going to actually create a look with the palette. Actually going to start out with I'm going to start out with a Morphe blending brush. And I'm going to go ahead and dip into the shade Sakura. It is that light, like powdery pink shade in the palette. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that right on into the crease. Basically right above the crease, if I'm being 100% real with you guys. Next, I'm gonna take more of a tapered blending brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Resinigan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And we're gonna place this shade more in the crease. This is where we should be right now, kind of like a cotton candy-esque vibe. Now I'm gonna take this Luxie brush right here and I'm gonna go into the shade She Go. I'm gonna put She Go right here, like on the actual crease. go ahead and cut the crease. We will fast forward through that and I'll be right back. Glitter glue, and I'm going to put that right over the concealer. Dipping into Matrix, we're going to put that right over the concealer. I'm going to go back in with that Luxie brush, and I'm going to take the shade She Go and put that right there where the glitter meets the outside. And here is the beautiful look. I'm obsessed. I love this palette. I think it's so beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. I'm so obsessed. All right, guys, so I'm gonna do my lower lash line. On my lower lash line, I am going to keep the Resinogen, maybe. And I'm gonna do my lashes and all of that, and I'll be right back with my final thoughts. Okay, guys, so here is the final look. I am completely obsessed with this palette. This is gonna be a palette that I play with for a while. I don't know when I will be putting this palette down. It's gonna be one that I'm obsessed with for a while. And also, I did just want to mention that if I seemed a little down or whatever through this video, you guys, I have a horrible sinus infection. If you follow me on Snapchat, then you already knew that. I'm very active on Snapchat, so sorry if I don't look the best, if my hair's a mess, but I've been sick, so, so sorry. But yes, you guys, this palette is most definitely Morgan Shea approved. Go buy you one. It is absolutely amazing. The shades blend absolutely beautifully. I am 100% in love with this palette, and I highly, highly, highly recommend. Also, just because I know that some of you heifers will ask me, the lip gloss that I'm wearing is actually by Revlon. This is the Revlon Super Lustrous, the gloss. And this is in the shade Rosy Future. So I did just want to let you guys know, because I get asked all the time, what's on your lips? What's on your lips? But yeah, you guys, that is the video. I highly recommend it yet again. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye.